Chosen one, there are truths too heavy for ordinary ears, secrets too sharp to place carelessly into open air. What has been revealed to you is not meant to be scattered, not meant to be shared lightly. It is rare, dangerous, and holy in its weight. That is why the warning has come. Guard this, protect it. Let no careless word fall from your lips. For the moment you open your mouth to the wrong listener, the energy you were entrusted with will be diluted, stolen, or turned against you. This is not paranoia. It is wisdom. Not everyone can handle the revelation you carry, and not everyone deserves to. Silence is not weakness, it is strategy, protection, and power. Before we go further, I ask you to watch this message until the very end. Do not let distraction pull you away, because this is the kind of truth that requires your whole attention. And if your heart is ready to align with it, write your warmest wishes and 777 in the comments below. This is not an empty ritual, but a sign to the universe that you understand the weight of what you carry, that you are ready to release only what is meant to be released and to guard the rest. Wishes written in purity become energy, and energy reshapes reality. The world has always been built on the balance between what is seen and what is hidden. Too much exposure too soon destroys what could have grown strong in secret. A seed pulled from the soil before its roots take hold will never survive the sun. What you carry now is that seed. It does not belong to everyone's gaze, not yet. The soil of silence is where it gathers strength, where it roots itself deep before rising into the visible. Speak too soon and you will strip it of power. Guard it and you will see it bloom in ways the unprepared could never imagine. Understand that there are watchers in every environment, some curious, some envious, some waiting for your slip. They are not all enemies, but not all are allies either. The danger is not in their presence, it is in your disclosure. Once spoken aloud to the wrong heart, what was once your advantage becomes their weapon. This is why you must learn to walk with secrets, to keep your mouth closed when everything in you wants to shout, to sit in silence even when provoked to explain. It is not always weakness to say nothing. Often it is the strongest move on the board. The power of silence is underestimated because most do not know how to carry it. People crave validation, the nods of others, the comfort of applause. But validation is a fragile crown. What you carry needs no applause. It needs alignment, patience, and protection. You will find that as you guard your words, strength builds inside of you. Every sentence withheld is another brick in the fortress of your destiny. Every secret kept safe is another treasure locked away where thieves cannot touch. In the hours ahead, you will feel the urge to share. You will want to confide, to explain, to pour out what burns inside of you, but be careful. Not everyone who listens to understand. Some listen to extract, some listen to twist. Some listen only to measure where you are so they can decide how to undermine it. Silence starves them. When you say nothing, they cannot predict your move, cannot sabotage your plan, cannot weaken your resolve. Silence protects more than words ever could, so hold your ground. Guard what has been placed in you. Speak only to the few who are proven, only to those whose loyalty has been tested, only to those whose spirit resonates with yours. Everyone else must meet the silence. This is not cruelty, it is survival, and it is the mark of those chosen for higher paths. They know that the greatest treasures are not displayed, they are kept, nurtured, and revealed only in their time. There is always a moment when the silence you keep becomes its own kind of test. You will feel the pull to explain yourself, to share what you know, to ease the weight of carrying a secret no one else sees. That pull is not harmless, it is a temptation. It is the trap of spilling pearls into hands that only want to measure their worth, not protect them. And the truth is this: once a secret leaves your lips, it no longer belongs to you alone. It enters the fragile space of interpretation, misused memory, and twisted intention. That is why the warning stands firm. Do not speak this to anyone. Not yet. Think carefully about the people who surround you. There are those who smile when you succeed, but Keep silent when you struggle. There are those who listen but never support, those who ask questions not to understand but to gather leverage. These are not the ones to trust. In the next stretch of your journey, your greatest enemy will not be strangers. It will be the mouths of the familiar. They will cloak curiosity and kindness, and you will be tempted to open up, but your silence must be stronger than their persistence. Understand the pattern of those who seek information without offering anything in return. Their questions sound soft, but their motives carry weight. They do not ask to help, they ask to measure. Once you answer, they adjust themselves around your vulnerability, using what you reveal to calculate where to press, when to doubt you, and how to slow your momentum. The wisest choice is not to fight them, it is to starve them. Silence takes away their power, and there will be moments when the silence feels lonely. You will want someone to understand, to carry the burden with you. That loneliness is not punishment, it is protection. It sharpens you, disciplines you, and builds resilience. A tree grows strongest roots in solitude, where no one can see the stretching underground. When the storm comes, those hidden roots prove stronger than the branches waving in the light. Your silence is the root system of what is growing in you. It may look like nothing now, but one day, the strength of it will hold everything upright. Be mindful also of timing. Every revelation has an appointed hour, and if you release it too soon, the environment will not support it. Just as a bird cracked from the egg before its wings are strong will die in the open, so too will your vision if you expose it before it is ready. Silence is not about never speaking, it is about waiting for the moment when speaking serves destiny, not ego. You will know that moment not by applause but by alignment, when doors open naturally, when support arrives without begging, when the very atmosphere pushes you to reveal what has been hidden. Until then, hold your peace. Guard your energy. Choose your words like you are carving stone, not scattering sand. Every sentence should cost you thought. Every disclosure should be weighed. Every listener should be tested. In these hours, you are not just guarding a secret, you are protecting your future. And the future cannot be built on leaks. It can only be built on foundations strong enough to carry weight, and silence is the cement that seals those foundations. So remain steady. If questions come, answer with wisdom. If curiosity pushes, deflect with calm. If provoked, let your restraint be your reply. Silence is not empty. It is full of power. It protects what is forming. It shields what is sacred, and it announces that you are not desperate for validation. You already know the worth of what you carry. That knowledge is enough to sustain you until the hour of unveiling arrives. Silence has an architecture, and today you are learning how to live inside it. Think of your life as a citadel. The gates are your attention, the walls are your boundaries, the watchtowers are your intuition, and deep within is a vault where the rarest things are kept. The error most people make is placing treasure in the foyer. They call it sharing, but it is simply leaving the door ajar for anyone to touch what is still forming. Your task in this hour is to move what matters from the doorway to the vault, to set a guard over every corridor between. Begin by sorting your circles. There is the outer crowd, pleasant acquaintances, helpful for noise but not for nuance. There is the inner group, few in number, steady, proven. And there is the sanctuary where only the sacred belongs. Your convictions, your strategy, your unfinished revelation. Most conflict is born from mixing these circles, giving sanctuary access to the outer crowd, or demanding inner group loyalty from those who have never been tested. Order your circles and half your battles end before they begin. Adopt the discipline of quiet progress. Do the work, log the proof, file the wins, and let the results speak on their schedule. Announcements create expectations. Expectations attract interference. Interference siphons momentum. Quiet progress does the opposite. It compounds. There is a ferocity to those who build without broadcasting. Resistance cannot map what it cannot see. When pressure to disclose rises, remember, The seed that survives the season is the seed that stays in soil until its roots can handle the sun. Learn the difference between questions that are gateways and questions that are traps. Gateway questions come from aligned people and lead toward clarity, capacity, or protection. Trap questions come wrapped in flattery, urgency, or faux intimacy and lead toward exposure. Validate by asking yourself 3 things before you answer. Does this serve timing? Does this serve alignment? Does this serve mission? If any answer is no, the correct response is restraint. You owe no one a play-by-play of your becoming. Build a language of graceful deflection. You do not need to lie to stay private. Say, "That's still in refinement," or "I'll share when the timing supports the outcome," or "Right now I'm protecting the early stages." These phrases honor truth without handing over leverage. Pair them with micro rituals. Pause 2 seconds before replying, inhale once to reset your nervous system, and keep your sentences short. The more you explain, the more you feed curiosity. Precision closes loops, rambling opens doors you do not want to enter one. Create 3 locks on every important plan. The lock of time, no details until a milestone is reached. The lock of alignment, no details until the right collaborators are confirmed. And the lock of audience, no details to anyone who has not earned the right to carry them. Most leaks happen because one lock is missing. If you keep all 3 engaged, even a pressured moment will not expose what must remain guarded. Write these locks somewhere you see daily. Repetition turns wisdom into reflex. Anticipate the shadow tests. They show up as sudden invitations that flatter your hunger to be seen, as rumors baiting you to defend yourself, as urgent messages designed to harvest unguarded words. Passing a shadow test looks like this. You decline without drama. You refuse to litigate your name in cheap arenas. You let silence do the talking while your consistency builds the record. Remember, defense is a drain. Direction is a generator. Choose the engine that moves you forward. Audit your atmosphere weekly. Who leaves you clearer? Who leaves you noisier? Name the top 3 sources of clarity and the top 3 sources of clutter. Expand the first, restrict the second. This is not cruelty, it is stewardship. Attention is a finite currency. Spend it where the return is compounding. Deep work, aligned allies, and actions that move the needle. Every minute you wrestle with misaligned conversations is a minute stolen from the future you insist is urgent. Protect your nervous system as part of your secrecy protocol. Overstimulation makes you chatty. Exhaustion makes you careless. Schedule white space. Close the apps you don't need. Practice focus fasting. 90 minutes on, 10 minutes off, no switching tasks during the on-cycle. The mind that is calm can carry gold without dropping it. The mind that is scattered will spill treasure in the street and call it transparency. When a leak happens, and eventually one might, respond with structure, not stories. For first, contain, tighten access, change channels, reduce the circle. Second, correct, document the truth where it matters, once, cleanly. Third, continue, return to the work as the loudest evidence of integrity. Do not get trapped in reputation theatre. The audience that must understand you is small and specific. The rest can watch your outcomes. Nothing silences speculation like visible progress. Reserve unveiling for appointed moments. You will recognize them by convergence. Preparation completed, support present without pleading, peace holding yet steady even in pressure. When that hour arrives, speak with the authority of someone who guarded the gestation. You are not asking permission. You are announcing a reality that already exists. Unveiling is not the beginning of a thing. It is the public arrival of what private discipline made inevitable. Finally, remember what secrecy is and what it is not. It is not fear of others. It is faith in timing. It is not a lack of trust. It is a layered trust. It is not isolation. It is intentional intimacy, few, proven, aligned. Keeping this close is not about hiding from the world. It is about honoring the weight of what the world is not yet ready to receive from you. One day the doors will open and the work will walk out in full daylight. Until then, let your silence be a sanctuary where vision strengthens, strategy matures, and your future learns your name before anyone else does. And the discipline of silence you've been cultivating is not just about withholding words. It is about building a state of presence that cannot be shaken. You have already seen how secrecy protects your foundations, but now you must learn how to extend that power outward into every interaction, every environment, and every decision. This is not about living hidden forever, but about knowing the right sequence, prepare in the dark, act in the quiet, reveal in the light. That sequence is your armor. If you ever break it, you risk exposing what has not yet been fortified. Think of this stage as walking through a corridor lined with mirrors. Every reflection you see is slightly distorted. Some mirrors show you larger, grander, more impressive than you are. Others shrink you, twist you, and make you doubt your own proportions. The key is to understand that none of them are the full truth. Those mirrors are the voices around you, the friends, the doubters, the ones who seem supportive but harbor unspoken envy. They will try to tell you who you are before you've fully stepped into yourself. Your task is to keep walking, eyes forward, never allowing their reflections to dictate your movement. The next challenge you face will not be resistance from enemies, but pressure from allies. There will be those close to you who cannot handle mystery, who cannot tolerate silence. They will mistake your restraint for distance, your patience for passivity. They will ask for answers, updates, reassurances. But remember what we established earlier, questions can be gateways or traps. Even those who mean well can pull you out of alignment if you hand them too much of your process. Love does not always mean full disclosure. Sometimes love is protecting both yourself and them from truths that would only burden or confuse them. Silence in this season is not absence, it is investment. Every word you do not say is an investment in the clarity of your future voice. Every plan you do not reveal is an investment in the strength of its unfolding. Every secret you keep is a seed buried in trust, waiting for the right conditions to grow. Seeds exposed too soon dry out in the sun or get trampled by careless feet. But those kept deep in the soil grow roots that no storm can tear apart. At the same time, recognize that silence does not mean inactivity. You are not simply waiting, you are moving, calculating, preparing. Each step you take unseen is compounding interest on your destiny. The results will one day appear sudden, but they are not sudden. They are the fruit of years spent mastering restraint. The world may label it overnight success, but you will know it was the result of countless nights spent in quiet preparation. Now consider the dangers of misaligned speech. Words are not neutral, they are carriers of energy, direction, and even power. When spoken to the wrong audience, they are drained of their force. When spoken to the right audience at the right time, they amplify beyond measure. That is why some things you have experienced must never be spoken into casual spaces. Not every ear deserves to carry your vision. Not every conversation can hold your revelation. Your tongue must become as disciplined as your mind, measured, deliberate, unwilling to waste what is sacred on what is common. The enemy of destiny is not always opposition. Sometimes it is distraction. And distraction often comes in the form of conversation. Long, empty dialogues that do nothing but drain your focus. Emotional debates that lead nowhere. Confessions given to those who cannot protect them. These distractions masquerade as intimacy, but they are really chains disguised as company. Break them before they break you. Replace them with silence, with observation, with intentional action. When you withhold what does not need to be said, you preserve energy for the things that must be done. There will be seasons when you feel invisible, when your restraint makes you feel as though you have disappeared from the notice of others. Do not panic. That invisibility is your camouflage. It allows you to move without interference. It allows you to strategize without sabotage. It gives you the freedom to grow without critique. The time will come when visibility returns, and when it does, you will not be the same person you were. You will be stronger, sharper, more precise. Visibility without preparation is exposure. Visibility after silence is impact. So train yourself now to live with the tension of not being fully understood. You are not here to satisfy curiosity, you are here to guard destiny. And destiny is not a public performance, it is a sacred assignment. If you treat it casually, others will too. But if you treat it with reverence, even your silence will command respect. Remember this, every act of restraint today becomes a weapon tomorrow. Every withheld word is stored strength. Every moment you refuse to explain yourself is a declaration that you are not dependent on validation. And when the unveiling comes, those who doubted your silence will realize it was not weakness. It was the greatest form of discipline you could have chosen. Every stage of silence transforms into a layer of armor. What once felt like hesitation has now become your shield. You've learned not only to hold your tongue, but to harness its absence as a source of strength. Yet this next season demands even more from you. Discernment in movement is not enough to be quiet, you must be strategic. The silence you've cultivated is the soil. Now it must begin to produce direction, and direction requires choices. You will notice that as your silence deepens, the environment around you begins to react. Some people will grow uncomfortable. They relied on your constant words, your openness, your tendency to over-explain. Now, as you withdraw, they sense their grip on you loosening. They may accuse you of secrecy, of arrogance, of being different. They are right, you are different, and they are witnessing the cost of growth. Their discomfort is not evidence that you are wrong. It is evidence that you are outgrowing the space they preferred you to remain in. Be prepared for the whispers. Not every voice raised against you will be loud. Some will be subtle, woven into casual remarks, wrapped in false concern. I don't know what they're doing anymore. They've changed. They used to be easier to talk to. These whispers are the smoke signals of insecurity. Do not inhale them. They are distractions meant to pull you back into explaining yourself, into proving your worth, into defending your silence. But defense is wasted energy. Let the whispers float, let them circle. The truth is that your silence is already speaking louder than their assumptions. At this point, discipline must extend beyond speech into action. Silence without strategy is isolation. Silence with strategy is evolution. Every day must carry intention. What you learn, what you build, what you prepare. Guard your time as fiercely as you guard your tongue. Each wasted hour is a doorway left open for interference. If you plan your day with precision, you reduce the gaps where doubt can slip in. Write the list, set the structure, honor your schedule. Consistency will do for you what explanation never could. You will also begin to notice the difference between noise and signal. Noise demands constant attention but offers no return. Signal is rare, subtle and powerful. It guides, it confirms, it aligns. The discipline of this season is to stop chasing noise. Most people live addicted to it. Conversations, gossip, endless checking, meaningless updates. But those who shape destiny train themselves to wait for signal, to move only when clarity arrives, to spend their energy only where direction is undeniable. Do not let impatience make you mistake noise for guidance. This is where resilience comes into play. The more you withhold, the more pressure you will feel to release. Pressure is not a sign that you must speak, it is a sign that something inside is growing. Seeds break soil under pressure, not because they are weak, but because they are ready. You must learn to feel the difference between pressure that signals release and pressure that signals preparation. One pushes you forward, the other strengthens your roots. The difference can only be discerned in stillness. Protect your identity in this stage. People may try to define you by what you don't say, by what you refuse to explain, by what you choose not to share. They will write their narratives in the gaps of your silence. Let them. The truth is that identity is not defined by others' interpretation. It is secured by your own conviction. You are not what they guess you are what destiny has written you to be. And destiny is not revealed through gossip. it is revealed through unfolding. One of the hardest lessons in this process will be learning how to deal with false proximity. Some people will try to stay close to you, not because they support your mission, but because they fear being excluded from its benefits. They will act loyal as long as they believe your success will spill onto them. Watch closely. The test comes when your silence denies them access. Their true motives will rise to the surface when they can no longer predict or control you. That revelation is not betrayal, it is clarity. And clarity is always a gift. As you move forward, begin shaping your silence into presence. Silence does not mean fading away, it means you are there, steady, focused, grounded, but not pouring energy into every demand. Let your presence speak before your words ever do. The way you enter a room, the way you carry yourself, the way you remain composed under pressure, these are forms of communication that cannot be twisted or misquoted. A calm presence, forged in silence, speaks louder than 1,000 explanations. Remember, you are not keeping silent forever. Silence is not the goal. It is the discipline before the unveiling. At the appointed hour, when preparation has reached maturity, when your environment has aligned, when the timing resonates in your spirit, then the words will come. But they will not come rushed or careless. They will arrive sharp, clear, undeniable, like an arrow that does not miss. And those who once doubted your restraint will be silenced, not by your explanations, but by your manifestation. Until then, walk carefully. Guard what is sacred. Speak only when alignment demands it. And let every quiet day be a stone laid in the foundation of your future. The world does not need your premature revelations. It needs the version of you that is fully forged, unshakable, and precise. That version is being carved right now in the secrecy of your silence. And when the doors open, there will be no mistaking who you are, for your presence will carry the weight of someone who chose wisdom over validation and timing over temptation. There comes a point when silence completes its work and what was once hidden begins to radiate from you without a single word spoken. You have been tested, pulled, and pressured in ways that could have broken the unprepared, but instead you've been refined. What began as a command to hold your tongue has now become a deeper wisdom. Not everything deserves to be said, not every space deserves your voice, and not every ear can hold the gravity of what you carry. The silence was never emptiness, it was the training ground that shaped your authority. Now, you stand on the edge of a threshold. The weight of all you have held within yourself has prepared you for a moment when revelation will not be about proving anything to others, but about fulfilling what has always been written over your life. It is important to remember that this unveiling is not about spectacle. The work of silence was not to make you mysterious, it was to make you strong. The unveiling will not be for applause, it will be for alignment. Those who are meant to recognize it will recognize it, and those who are not will be silenced by the undeniable evidence of what has unfolded. Your journey proves that timing is everything. If you had spoken too soon, what you carried could have been stolen, twisted, or diluted. If you had revealed your plans prematurely, those who lacked vision would have destroyed them before they had the chance to take root. But you held back, endured the discomfort of being misunderstood, and chose the harder path of restraint. And now, because of that, what emerges will be unshakable. It will be beyond interference, beyond manipulation, beyond the fragile opinions of those who never saw your potential clearly. The lesson you must carry forward is this: secrecy is seasonal, but discernment is eternal. There will be more chapters in your story when silence will once again become necessary, not as fear, but as wisdom. Guarding what is sacred will never cease to be part of your calling, but you have proven that you can endure it, that you can carry a treasure without dropping it into careless hands, that you can survive the weight of solitude without crumbling. This is not the end of your silence, it is the evolution of it. So as the final hours of this chapter close, step with boldness, You are no longer just the one who remained quiet. You are the one who transformed silence into strength, mystery into strategy, secrecy into sovereignty.